And I guess I've been dreaming, 'cause now that I'm woke, everything that I see ain't what it seems, man. I guess I've been dreaming, 'cause now that I'm here, what I feel motivates me with reason. I guess I've been dreaming, 'cause now that I'm woke, everything that I see ain't what it seems, man. I guess I've been dreaming, 'cause now that I'm here, what I feel motivates me with reason. I guess I've been dreaming.
Academy. What it is, what it do, man. Peace and love to all the guys and goddesses and the high vibrating human beings and species on the planet, man. How we living, how's that? Cause me cooling. Me still cooling. I hope everybody doing good out there, man. I hope that you're still, you know what I'm saying, moving in your direction. If not, stay focused. Stay focused. Keep yourself grounded. Do not get distracted. Okay. So yeah, we finna run them up. SCP. We still with the series. We were at 811. SCP-811. The Swamp Woman. And she's carnivorous. She eats people. Carnivore. She eats meat. So that's pretty much anything she gets your hands on, you know. And she's in the swamp, so we may be taking her down south with this one, you know what I'm talking about. So Academates, I hope you got what you need, because I do. If you're new, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Academates, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we finna run her up. SCP-811. Y'all know what we do. Bustin'. Swamp nigga, Swamp woman,
Good afternoon, everyone.
Peace.
My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-811. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-811 should be kept in a climate-controlled cylindrical glass enclosure between 10 and 20 meters in diameter, filled to a depth of no less than 2.5 meters on average with wetland soil and stagnant fresh water. It is to be furnished with a variety of aquatic plants from its native swamp, as the remaining vegetation there has exhibited the adaptation to regrow quickly from injuries endured during contact with SCP-811 as long as the roots are undamaged. Logs of manageable size and additional humus-rich soil may be provided for good behavior. Water depth is not to exceed 0.5 meter at its lowest point. Height of the enclosure must be no less than 5 meters above the highest soil point. Temperature is to be kept at 25 degrees Celsius, and humidity should be kept above 70%. There is to be a decontamination airlock chamber between the door into the enclosure and the door to the rest of the facility. Air that is ventilated into the enclosure should not be recirculated back into the rest of the facility under any circumstances. The methane resulting from SCP-811's normal interaction with this environment is not anomalous and may be bottled for use as fuel. No heated elements or open flames are permitted inside the enclosure. The enclosure must be tested daily for pH and microbe levels in both the soil and water, as well as for changes in chemical composition. Enclosure should be cleaned bi-weekly, preferably by D-Class personnel. All discarded waste should be put in quarantine for analysis before disposal by standard biohazard protocol. The subject is to be given at least 5 kilograms of live food 24 hours after its completion of its previous meal. The subject is not averse to preying on humans, and it is recommended that personnel not enter the enclosure if SCP-811 has not fed in over 16 hours. No invasive medical procedure may be performed on SCP-811 outside of emergency situations in which such a procedure is required to save a subject's life. Minimally invasive procedures require review and unanimous approval by SCP-811's assigned medical team and the current project head. See Document 811-B for a list of substances that may be administered as medication to SCP-811. All requests by the subject are to be reviewed by both an overseeing animal enrichment specialist and at least one Level 3 personnel before approval, and the review should not take more than 48 hours unless exceptional circumstances dictate otherwise. While SCP-811 is not generally aggressive unless it feels hungry or threatened, all handling personnel are to be cautioned that it is still an opportunistic ambush predator, and safety precautions must still be taken to avoid injury or infection. All personnel entering the enclosure must wear full-body, non-organic biohazard suits and breath masks, and must be in groups of at least 2. No personnel,
although the gazer will get on your ass every time,
are to enter the enclosure if they have open wounds or sores anywhere on their body. Those suffering from asthma or other respiratory affecting conditions are prohibited from entering the enclosure without a signed note from a physician with Level 4 security clearance. As far as research indicates, SCP-811 cannot cause serious injury to anyone properly wearing their biohazard suit. Anyone who removes any part of their biohazard suit while still in the enclosure, for any reason at all, will still be subject to disciplinary action, up to and including reassignment to a project that would not be adversely affected by their status as an amputee. Description: SCP-811 is shaped similarly to a human female, with disproportionately long and thin limbs and a slightly bloated abdominal region. It is 171 centimeters tall and weighs just under 47 kilograms due to its strange physiology. See Addendum 811-2 for details. Its skin has slight abrasive properties and is a mottled green color that serves to camouflage it among the reeds in its natural habitat. Its sweat has been observed to act as a mild skin irritant. It has extremely oily black hair that has proven to be resistant to cleaning with conventional shampoos. See Addendum 811-1. It shows partial comprehension of human language, consistent with case studies of feral children that had been abandoned at a few years old instead of as infants. The palmoplantar surfaces of SCP-811's skin constantly secrete a clear, green-tinted mucus with minor adhesive properties. This mucus does not appear to have any effect on SCP-811's own tissue, but any other organic matter that it comes into contact with begins to rapidly decompose, through processes not fully understood, reducing the matter into a slightly viscous black liquid. SCP-811 can then absorb said liquid through its skin and directly into its circulatory system. Tests have shown that SCP-811's entire circulatory system is filled with liquefied decaying matter. Biopsies taken from SCP-811 have shown the presence of anaerobic bacteria in all examined cells, which, due to the apparent lack of anything resembling functional red blood cells in the subject, are currently presumed to be what SCP-811 uses to metabolize the chemicals in its circulatory system. SCP-811 does not defecate or otherwise produce feces in the traditional sense, and entirely lacks a small or large intestine. Instead, cellular waste and substances SCP-811 is unable to metabolize collect in what is, anatomically speaking, its stomach. Within the stomach, enzymes and bacterial flora cause it to congeal into a grainy, tar-like substance that SCP-811 periodically voids by voluntary projectile regurgitation, a mechanism which it uses to hunt. It preferentially aims at the face or at any perceived open wounds on its target, then waits for the target to die of either immediate asphyxiation by blockage of the mouth and nose, or in a few days of multi-systematic failure resulting from aggressive bacterial infection. SCP-811's teeth did not seem to have any abnormal resistance to decay resulting from chronic exposure to the compounds and microflora in its waste. See Addendum 811-1. Prognosis for personnel who have had contact with SCP-811's waste through mucous membrane or open wound is good if broad-spectrum antibiotic therapy is begun in the first 3 hours, but then rapidly declines. Personnel who are D-Class or have gone 12 hours without getting treatment may request termination. Addendum 811-1. To date, SCP-811 has requested regular delivery of bovine prey, denied. That crocodilians be removed from its prey animal rotation, approved. The water be stocked with a variety of fish species from its native, denied. 1 hairbrush made from 100% synthetic materials. Approved. For 1 D-Class personnel to every other day come in with a basin and shower head to wash and condition its hair. Approved. It has been noted that standard strength hair shampoos do not adequately clean away the excessive oil in SCP-811's hair, and the use of a formula with a higher proportion of stronger surfactants has been authorized. To be addressed by a 2-syllable name that has been translated as AE, SCP-811 being illiterate and thus not capable of choosing a spelling for itself. Approved. Side note. Due to SCP-811's difficulty with language, it has been deemed acceptable to use its chosen name when directly speaking to it for the purpose of streamlining meaningful conversation. Relief from its chronic tooth pain. Approved. Request was initially denied until a safe and effective method of administering general anesthesia to SCP-811 was discovered and a dental surgery plan devised. Tooth number 47, FTI, 2-digit rotation, removed to test method and adjust for unpredicted special aftercare requirements. Remainder of SCP-811's teeth removed and overdenture implants installed in a second operation. SCP-811 supplied with complete dentures to be repaired as needed. 1 turtle in a hazmat suit for non-dietary purposes. Denied. Turtles accordingly removed from prey animal rotation. Possibility of placing a small turtle habitat in the observation area outside SCP-811's enclosure for enrichment under consideration. Addendum 811-2. Due to the fact that SCP-811 has lungs and teeth, despite having no apparent use for either, it was brought to Bioresearch Area 12's radiology lab for X-rays to examine its internal structure. Results were inconclusive. Subsequent MRI testing has revealed that SCP-811 has a number of unusual glands and organs attached to its lymphatic system, which may assist in regulation of the viscosity and microbial flora of the material in its circulatory system. 1 such organ in the abdominal region appears to contain lighter-than-air gas. The possibility that SCP-811 was one is being explored. Due to the impossibility of maintaining a sterile operating environment, limited understanding of SCP-811's biology, and difficulty in calculating the subject's mass, the risk of major complications or subject death has been deemed too high to authorize exploratory surgery. And this is Interview Log 811-16. Interviewers, Dr. Trebuchet and Junior Lab Assistant Wachtell.
Dr. Trebuchet and Junior Lab Assistant Wachtell enter SCP-811's containment unit. Dr. Trebuchet is carrying a clipboard with a document on it and the shoebox. A.
Doctor, what want?
Questions. Points to shoebox.
Food.
Dr. Trebuchet nods and opens the shoebox. A frog jumps out. SCP-811 brings her foot down on the frog as it lands and begins to digest it.
Doctor wants questions?
Yes. Hands the clipboard to Wachtell. Points to something on it. Reading from the clipboard. What's the earliest thing you can remember?
Are we eating?
Early things. Things before.
Before box.
Before the box.
Most before.
Yes. With sweeping, demonstrative arm and hand movements.
Big man. Tall. Eye small. Very smaller than man.
Uses hand to indicate a height of approximately 1 meter off the ground. Points to her own arm.
Was like man.
What was like him? Pinches some of her skin between 2 fingers.
Is not like eye. Like man. Like people.
Your skin.
Skin.
Prods her arm thoughtfully, then smiles.
Skin.
Wait, you mean you had skin like ours? It appears so. AE, what after? Pointing to the inside of 1 elbow.
Pain. Stick here. Cold.
Needle, AE. Here the They're called needles.
Needle. Here. Cold.
And then,
Pain.
pantomiming something coming out of her mouth.
Red. Was very hungry. Scared. 8-man. Skin. Like this.
Oh God. At this point, Walter begins to vomit in his hazmat suit. SCP-811, misinterpreting this as a sign of hostility, retreats into one of the pools of water in its enclosure and does not resurface until both Walter and Dr. Trebuchet have left. Notes. While I understand the appeal of training the new blood on something relatively harmless and as green as they are, could you please throw them at some other humanoid for a while? I'm trying to actually get things done here. Dr. Trebuchet, signing out.
Okay. I think that about does it for today. Thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed. Goodbye.
Okay, the mates, we have a Swamp Thing / Killer Croc thing. And where y'all find this thing at, man? Louisiana, Florida? Where y'all find this thing at? I'm sitting here trying to think, you know what I mean? Like, Swamp Woman, Swamp Thing. This old show back in the day called Swamp Thing. Yeah, I may go do some digging around, y'all. You know what I mean? Because or, I mean, it could be, I mean, what y'all think? What y'all think? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm thinking, you know what I mean, maybe splicing, maybe? You know what I'm saying? With a croc, or, you know what I'm saying, some type of amphibian from, you know what I'm saying, from the swamp area. You know, I mean, what y'all think? What y'all think of Catamate? You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you know what I'm saying, found it educational. Obviously, they called it her. So I mean, I'm not sure, you know what I'm saying? So if you out there in the swamp waters, you know what I'm saying, in the areas of the swamp, they'd be like, you know what I'm saying, places like Florida, Louisiana, you know what I'm talking about, in the Gulf area, you know what I mean, of the states, then y'all be sure to keep your head on the swivel, you know what I'm talking about. Be sure to keep yourself protected spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Try not to let the world drive you crazy. And yeah, man, we're gonna be back with another SCP, you know what I'm saying? But again, y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section. You know, we have the Swamp Woman here. She'll get down on you. That's just what it is. Obviously, it's her nature. She has a way to go about it. You know what I'm saying? She spit in your face like one of them spitting dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? Sound like some black tar stuff, you know what I mean? Like I'm over here CT on, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think about what we got busting, cause I mean, it sounds like she can do a couple things, you know what I'm saying? And then you decompose from the inside. So sounds a bit dangerous if you don't want to get touched, you don't want to get bit, you don't want to get spat on. So, you know what I'm talking about? Y'all keep yourselves up. Y'all stay high vibing, and you already know. Next time we're gonna be back with another SCP. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's SCP cities. You know what I'm saying? Even if we gotta make it an entire year to get educated on these things, we're gonna do so. You know what I mean? Because I feel like people need to know about these things, or take these things a little bit more serious, or take at least the planet that you're on a little bit more serious, a lot more serious. That there's not just you here, and they don't all look like you, and they may be humanoid, but they may not all get down like you, and you know what I mean? The expectations are high of seeing something unnatural. I'm not just gonna say not normal, because to these entities or these species or the particular species, they're normal, and to them that's normal. So I'm just gonna say unnatural to the human eye, because even some humans you see aren't human. Let's keep that in mind. Happy New Year, good people. Well, for some, you know what I'm saying, because for others the new year hasn't even started yet. You got what I mean? Yeah, so peace and love. I'll see y'all next time. 100.